Good evening. We're ready to begin. This Plan Commission meeting's called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV, Cable Channel 2. You can also watch this meeting live on the Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the Go Vegas app. The Plan Commission meeting, as well as all other KCLV program, can be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv/live. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV and the web the Saturday after the meeting at 10 a.m., Monday at midnight, and the following Tuesday at 6 p.m. Would everybody please stand for the pledge? If we could have the clerk call the roll.
Acting Chair Schlottman.
Present.
Commissioner Williams.
Present.
Commissioner Walsh.
Present.
Commissioner Kasama.
Present.
Commissioner Taylor.
Present.
Commissioner Rogan, excused. Commissioner Cherry, excused. Thank you, Acting Chair. You have a quorum.
Thank you. I call your attention to the information printed in the agenda concerning our actions and the appeal and review process if appropriate. Please read this carefully, and if you have any questions, staff is available. Also on the second page of the agenda is our rules of conduct. We appreciate you adhering to these rules so we could have a smooth meeting. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made under this item for specific action items will be cross-referenced to those items. Are there any members of the public which would like to be heard during this portion? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Moving on to number 5. For possible action to approve the final minutes for the Planning Commission meeting of July 11th, 2023. Commissioner Williams?
Yeah, there's a motion to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission meeting of July 11th, 2023.
Thank you. Motion's on the floor. Please cast your vote.
And Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
And that motion carries. I'm going to go ahead and bring our city attorney up, Brian Scott. I know he's been with us for many of years and has been on many Planning Commission hearings with us, but I'll turn the floor over to you for a few minutes.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I just want to acknowledge Mr. Scott for his years of dedication and service to the city of Las Vegas. Ever since I've been here, 20 plus years, Brian has been a stoic figure that I've always run for shelter if needed. He has helped in an immense amount of Planning Commission meetings. He probably holds the record for most attended, that or Mr. Steve Gebecki, either one of those two. But he has been a great asset to the city. He will be immeasurably missed. He's not going far, but he's still going to be missed at the city. And I just want to show the appreciation from both community development, aka planning, licensing, code enforcement, and building and safety, as well as on behalf of all the time I've spent with the Planning Commission. I thank you.
Well, and thank you, Mr. Lowenstein. For the record, I'm Brian Scott. I'm the city attorney for the city of Las Vegas. For the last time, I'm addressing the Planning Commission as I retire from the city on August 10th. As Peter said, I was responsible for advising the City Council and the Planning Commission since probably 2000 when Steve George left to become a judge in Henderson. I then took over the zoning and planning duties. I've probably sat through 600 City Council meetings, as well as probably 550 or 500 or so City Council or Planning Commission meetings. The one that lasted till 4:40 a.m. I'm not sure if any of the commissioners now were at that meeting until 4:40 a.m., but yes. So that was probably our longest meeting, and I think we started at 5 p.m. on that day. So we were a little tired during that time. As I was driving home, the sun was coming up. And it's really been a pleasure to be able to advise both the City Council and Planning Commission and to be City Attorney over the last 3 years. I've done a lot of work in the department to get us diversified as a staff, to build morale, and it's been really great. And so I really will miss all of you, and I brought you my 2-time award-winning banana pudding in the back. I hope you all get some to enjoy and take some home. I brought some to-go containers as well, but it really has been my pleasure and my esteemed honor to be a part of the city for the last 27 years. It's going to be hard to leave, but I know it's just my time. And so I've been practicing law in Nevada for 32 years. I was in private practice before joining the city in 1996. And so I rarely take vacations, as Mr. Lewis always reminds me, but I think this is going to be my opportunity to travel more and to do more. And so I really will miss all of you. I'll miss these meetings. I'll watch you occasionally, but not every Tuesday. I will not watch, but I will watch occasionally. But I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you for the service that you do for the city, because as you know, you don't get paid to do this. You get an $80 stipend, I think, but that's not enough for gas. But I think you do it because you have a passion and a love for the city, and we really appreciate that. As public servants, we're often not thanked, and as volunteers, you're certainly not thanked, but I would like to thank you all for your service, because you really do make this city run and run well. And I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you to the staff who's always been very kind and generous to me, and I really appreciate you and as my co-workers and colleagues. But thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. And I remember being here at 4 in the morning. I remember being here on many other meetings. You're here on so many. I've been up here, I think, 11 years, 11 and a half, maybe even 12 now. So anyways, thanks for all your service and always giving us advice and all the late night emails to you to ask for last-minute advice, legal advice on certain applications. So everything's been very helpful in everything that you've done to the city. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure.
And I would echo the chair's comments. Thank you. The last 4.5 years being a planning commission, I can't say enough about your willingness and ability to just advise and make sure we're following the land of the law, and just being a dear friend all the way through the process. So thank you, and wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Commissioner.
And I, if I may, Acting Chair, Mr. Scott, I just also want to acknowledge what an incredible trailblazer you have been in the world of Nevada law, and amongst all of us that are members of the bar. You've led across the state bar, across county bars. You've been just an incredible trailblazer and a mentor to so many young law students at Boyd, and just a friend to all of us who have been part of your world. I've known you since I was a baby lawyer, and you've always been somebody who was there to lend support, to lend advice. And I hope that part of the incredible work that you've done and the incredible leadership that you've shown in this community, I hope that you find some time after your travels to possibly continue those roles as a mentor and as a leader in the law, in the practice of law and in the bar here in Nevada. And
I thank you, Commissioner. I really appreciate that, and I will. The mentoring is one of the best things I think you can do. It's so fulfilling, and I've really enjoyed doing that. And so I had some great mentors in my life and my career, and I'd like to pass that on to the next generation of lawyers. But thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to housekeeping items. Are there any items commissioner, staff, or applicants or members of the public that would like to pull forward for action? Yes, Ms. Stewart.
Good evening, Chairman. Lucy Stewart, 1930 Village Center Circle, 89134. We're asking for item number 32, which is 23-0255, to be held until your September 12th meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. Name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Susan Florian, Tanny Engineering on 630 South Jones Boulevard. We're asking for item number 24 to be held till the end of the meeting. Jeremiah Johnson from our firm is supposed to be representing it, but he is overseas. Well, he's traveling from overseas right now.
I can trail that. I don't think we need a vote on that at this point, but we'll go ahead and trail number 24.
Thank you.
Staff.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Steve Swan, Senior Planner, Community Development. We have several housekeeping items tonight. The applicant is requesting that item 17, 23-0213 SUP1 and SUP2 be held in abeyance to the August 8th Planning Commission meeting. The applicant requests item 26, 23-0216 SDR1 be held in abeyance to the August 8th Planning Commission meeting. The applicant requests item 28, 23-0237 project be held in abeyance to the August 8th Planning Commission meeting. And staff requests item 29, number 23-0240-SUP1 to be held in abeyance to the August 8th Planning Commission meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public that would like to be heard on any of these items? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and turn this over to Commissioner Williams for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would like to make a motion on all housekeeping items read into the record, including item number 32. It was asked to be obeyed until the 9/12 Planning Commission. Motion on the floor.
Motion's on the floor. Please cast your vote.
Commissioner Gasama?
Yes.
And that motion carries. All right, moving on to the one motion, one vote. The following items are items that may be considered in one motion, one vote. They are considered routine, non-public, and public hearing items with the staff recommendation of approval. All public hearing and non-public hearings items will be opened at one time. Any person representing an application or member of the public or a member of the Planning Commission not in agreement with the conditions and all standard conditions for the application recommended by staff should request to have that item removed from this part of the agenda. Item 7 is 23-0024 SUP1. Applicant SH Nevada LLC, owner shops at Grand Canyon 14 Syndications Group LLC, for possible action on land use entitlement project request for a proposed 4,054 square foot alcohol on-premise full use with a waiver to allow 0-foot distance separation from a church house of worship where 400 feet is required at 9430 West Sahara Avenue, Ward 2. Number 8 is 23-0117 BAR1. Applicant owner is Tiberius LLC, for possible action on land use entitlement project request to allow a 96-foot lot width where 100 feet is required for Lot 3 and a proposed 4-lot subdivision at the northwest corner of Deer Springs Way and Tom Boulevard, Ward 6. Number 9 is 23-0186 SUP1. Applicants Casa Real LLC. Owner is Craig Partners LLC. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a proposed 3,215 square foot alcohol on premise use and ancillary off-sale of full alcohol use at 7121 West Craig Road, Suite 101, Ward 4. Staff recommends approval. Number 10 is 23-0187 SDR1. Applicant owner is J&M Lee Investments LLC. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a proposed 2-story, 4-unit multifamily residential development with waivers of the perimeter landscape buffer requirements at 2517 Valley Street, Ward 3. Number 11 is 23-0190 SUP1. Applicants Goomba LLC. Owner Gary Cray Sr. and Gary Cray Jr. for the possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a proposed 6,317 square foot alcohol on premise full use at 1412 South Main Street, Ward 3. Number 12 is 23-0202 VAC1. Applicant owner City of Las Vegas for possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a petition to vacate a portion of Cimarron Road and a portion of the Bureau of Land Management right-of-way grant generally located between West Cliff Drive and Summerlin Parkway, Ward 1. Number 13 is 23-0282. Number 13 is 23-0208 SUP1. Applicant David Ruse, owner Cheyenne LV Capital, for possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a proposed tattoo parlor, Body Piercing Studio, at 7450 West Cheyenne Avenue, Suite 106, Ward 4. 14's 23-0209 SNC1. Applicant owner, the Howard Uses Corporation. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a proposed street name change from Kettle Bend Road to Oric Street, generally located west of Clark County 215 between Sunset Run Drive and Crystal Creek Avenue, Ward 2. Number 15 is 23-0211 VAC1. Applicant owner is Jim Marsh American Corporation. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a petition to vacate a portion of the public drainage easement at 8575 West Centennial Parkway, Ward 4. Number 16 is 23-0210 SDR1. Applicant owner Jim Marsh American Corporation. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for a major amendment to a previously approved site development plan review for a proposed addition of 6,566 square foot detached building to an existing 29,280 square foot motor vehicle sales development with a waiver of town center development standards at 8575 West Centennial Parkway, Ward 4. 18 is 23-0215 BAR1. Applicants, College of Southern Nevada. Owner is Board of Regents, University of Nevada. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request to allow a 228 square foot sign area where 75 square feet is the maximum allowed, and a 21 foot tall sign where 10 feet is the maximum allowed for a proposed monument sign at the southeast corner of Charleston Boulevard and Torrey Pines Drive, Ward 1. 19 is 23-0219 SDR1. Applicants Lamar Central Outdoor LLC. Owners 7-Eleven Incorporated. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for the proposed addition of a digital LED electronic message illumination to the west face of an existing off-premise sign at 6070 West Sahara Avenue, Ward 1. Number 20 is 23-0220 SDR1. Applicant Lamar Outdoor LLC. Owner Andrea J. Russo and Susan R. Russo. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for the proposed addition of a digital LED electronic message illumination to the west face of an existing off-premise sign at 6431 West Charleston Boulevard, Ward 1. Number 21 is 23-0221 SDR1. Applicant Lamar Central Outdoor LLC. Owner 3720 West Desert Inn LLC. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for the proposed addition of digital LED electronic message illumination to the west face of an existing off-premise sign at 3720 West Desert Inn Road, Ward 3. 22 is 23-0222 SDR1. Applicants Lamar TLC Properties LLC. Owner New Discovery Limited. For possible action on a land use entitlement project request for the proposed addition of a digital LED electronic message illumination to the south face of an existing off-premise sign at 1339 South Jones Boulevard, Ward 1. This was noticed as a public hearing. If anyone wants to be heard, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners? I will make one disclosure on item number 12. On no, it's apologize about that. On item number 11, I'm under contract with that particular applicant, and I'll be abstaining on that particular item. Commissioner Williams, could we get a motion on the one motion, one vote items?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to make a motion on all one motion, one vote items read into the record. With the exception of 17. Motion to approve.
Thank you. Here's a motion on the floor for approval of the one motion, one vote. Please cast your vote. Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
And that motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Items 7, 8, 9, 13, 15, 16, 18 through 22 are final action unless appealed to the city clerk within 10 days. Items 10, 11, 12, and 14 move forward to the August 16, 2023 City Council meeting. Thank you.
Moving on to the public hearing items. Item number 23 is 23-0109, applicant Arts District Food Park LLC, owner Gerby Investments 2 LLC, for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request at 105 West Wyoming Avenue, Ward 3. 23A is 23-0109, SUP1 for proposed 5,885 square foot alcohol on-premise full use with a 6,694 square foot outdoor plaza area. 23B is 23-0109, SDR1 for the proposed conversion of an existing 5,885 square foot major auto repair garage into a restaurant development with a proposed 6,694 square foot outdoor plaza. Can we get the staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, Nicole Eddowes from Community Development for the record. The applicant is proposing a food court that will house up to 15 different varieties of food and provide seating for 162 people. Since the expectation is for people to stay and eat, staff finds the proposed parking for 37 vehicles is insufficient for the business model where form-based code gives allowances to provide a minimum of 110 parking spaces, which is 40% of the required parking. Therefore, staff is recommending denial of both the special use permit and site development plan review. Please note additional letters of support received since publication. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the applicant here for this particular item? Please come forward. If I could get you to state your name and address for the record, and then give me just a few comments on your project.
Duran Gerby at 105 West Wyoming. The project is to make it easy on everybody, and especially in the food trucks in this heat or cold. They're going to be indoor serving food. They're going to have a grease trap, no generators, they're going to have electricity hookup like an RV parking hookup. It just, it will make it very easy for everybody on, especially in weather like this, to be outside, and the customers are going to be 110, so it's very tough for them to succeed in this type of weather, and the grease trap issue, and they're going to have, each one of them is going to have a grease trapped connection, electrical connection, and generator, no more generators, they're going to be all hooked up to electricity and natural gas, no propane. It's people are really looking forward for this project to happen, and we are in the gateway of our district. And with my understanding, the parking was not a main issue at all because it's downtown art district. So I'm hearing that there is an issue with the parking, but so advise me what else you need to know on that. It just
okay. If you don't have any other comments, I'm going to go ahead and.
No, I don't know. No comments. No.
Okay.
That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. This was noticed as a public hearing.
This is tenants that are going to be there also. This is the liquor bartender, the experienced bartender.
Hi, I'm Randy Garrett. I actually own 2 places right in front of him, and then Michelle also owns Tap and Ash.
What's Michelle's last name?
Runless, RUNLES.
Okay, perfect.
So it would definitely bring a lot of more business into that area and clean up that area as well, especially with a lot of the people that are behind us. It would clean it up and provide more business, more work for people as well. So as far as parking, I have another business downtown as well, and when you come downtown, I think that's in any city, most parking is hard to find anyway. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but if that can help, we support, so.
All right, and the gentleman behind you?
Antonio Herrero, 1604 South Commerce. I'm here representing him when we're with the architect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. This was noticed as a public hearing. Anyone wanting to be heard, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and turn this over to Planning Commission for discussion and possible action. I'll start with myself because this is my ward. I work a lot down in that area. This is primarily the only area that I work in, and I know this area very well. When I seen the concept, it reminds me of other places such as San Diego, Liberty Station, things like that. I know we went to APA conference and there was a market and it was much bigger than this, but it was a cool concept because you can go in, check out, and get lobster, or you could get like a hamburger, or you can get a steak, or you can get tacos and different things. So I find that kind of appealing. I think this would work. I think it would work good down on Wyoming. Arts District doesn't have just a tremendous amount of parking, but that's if we had the required parking on every project, then we'd be building Summerlin. We wouldn't get that urban arts district feel, is my personal opinion. So look, either your customers will find a place to park and they'll walk, or they won't, and it'll suffer. So anyways, I'm for this project, and I don't know if there's any other comments, but.
No, I would just add through you, Mr. Chair, I think it's a cool concept. I actually like the area. Again, I'm not overly concerned with the parking. It is in the Arts District and supports the overall theme of the neighboring businesses. So I can get behind this as well.
All right, looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for approval on item 230109 A through B.
All right, motion's on the floor for 23A and B. Please cast your vote. And Commissioner Kasama?
They agree with all staff conditions, Chairman.
And do you all agree with all the staff's conditions of approval? Okay, thank you. Please cast your votes. And that motion carries.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, that item will move forward to City Council on August 16th, 2023.
All right, thank you for that. Item number 24, that 24 was the one that we're trailing till the end. 25 is 23-0178, applicant owner Brody Lazord, for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request at 1001 East Bonanza Road, Ward 5. Staff recommends approval. 25A is 23-0178 GPA1 from PF Public Facilities to MXU Mixed Use. 25B is 23-0178 ZON1 from PR Professional Office and Parking to R3 Medium Density Residential. And 25C is 23-0178 SDR1 for a proposed conversion of an existing one-story single-family dwelling to a two-story 4-unit multi-family residential development with waivers of Appendix F Downtown Las Vegas interim downtown development standards. Can we get a staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, the Vision 2045 Downtown Las Vegas Master Plan has identified a need for additional and varied housing stock in the Cashman District to increase density in this area, including multifamily units. As this area already consists of single and multifamily residential uses, the applicant's requests for general plan amendment and rezoning are appropriate, and staff recommends approval. Multiple waivers of development standards have been requested to support the proposed site design. The lack of on-site parking may contribute to an increase of on-street parking adjacent to other properties, and the reduction in perimeter landscaping is a self-imposed hardship. The site design is not compatible with the surrounding development, and therefore staff recommends denial of the site development plan review. This request is the result of a code enforcement action regarding the existing block walls on the north, east, and south perimeter, the existing detached garage and room addition that have been constructed without permits. If approved, the existing wall and gate within the 10th Street public right-of-way will be required to be relocated outside the right-of-way, and a license agreement for private improvements in both the 10th Street and Bonanza Road rights-of-way must be submitted per conditions of approval. Thank you.
Thank you. This was noticed as a public hearing, or is the applicant available? Seeing that there's no applicant on this particular item, this was noticed as a public hearing. Anyone wanting to be heard, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Turn this over to Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd actually like to make a motion to obey this item until the August 8th meeting.
Okay. Motion's on the floor to obey number 25 until the August 8th Planning Commission hearing. Please cast your votes. And Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
All right, and that motion is approved. Moving on to item 27, 23-0228, applicant BBC Imports LLC, owner Sahara Mohawk LLC, for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request at 5320 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 1, Ward 1. Staff recommends denial. 27A is 23-0228 VAR 1 to allow 0 additional parking spaces where 27 are required for parking impaired development. 27B is 23-0228 SUP 1 for a proposed 715 square foot massage establishment use with waivers to allow a 0-foot distance separation from an existing massage establishment use where 1,000 feet is required, and 217-foot distance separation from an individual care center daycare use where 400 feet is required. Can we get the staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, the subject site was not designed to accommodate such uses as a massage establishment and is insufficient in the parking needed for the proposed use. In addition, within the distance separation requirement area, there's another massage establishment in the adjacent parcel and a child care facility located within the health club to the east. Therefore, staff recommends denial of the requested parking variance and special use permit. Thank you.
Thank you. This was, is the applicant here for this item. Please come forward. I'm going to ask you for your name and address for the record.
Yes. Christine Do Nascimento, 5320 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 1.
Okay, thank you. You want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Yes.
Okay.
So the location is technically not a full massage establishment. It's called the Babler Med Spa. So it's a medical establishment. What we do is we rent out a few rooms to possible licensed individuals who can rent or stay over there. We're trying to see if we can possibly get the massage establishment as well, just so that I can also have maybe 1 or 2 people possibly max in the location. As for parking, my neighbors or landlords are actually both doctors, only open 2 or 3 times a week. So the parking is technically 30 parking spaces with 2 handicap spaces, just like for my location. And then for the massage establishment, it's actually the other stoplight on the next aisle. So this is even if we were able to get a massage tech that can rent in that location. I'm just widening the net, hopefully, to help with all the other small businesses.
Thank you. This was noticed as a public hearing. Anyone wanting to be heard, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'm closed the public hearing. Turn this over to the Planning Commission for discussion and possible action.
Well, through you, Mr. Chair, I'll open up. Can you help us understand? You want to have 0 parking spaces where 27 are required?
No, we have actually. Sorry, can you repeat the question? How many parking spaces we have?
How many do you currently have?
30, possibly 27 to 30 parking spaces.
And the variance is for what on parking exactly?
So, Mr. Chairman, Steve Swan, through you. This is a non-conforming or parking impaired site, and so when the applicant is not adding any additional parking themselves as part of the application, it becomes 0 additional spaces. But the use that they're introducing will require a certain number of spaces. And so that's what's listed on the agenda. Thank you.
So are you actually expanding within, you're in your own independent suite, or you're within a bigger suite occupied by another tenant?
No, so I rent one unit. So there's 3 units in that location. Both units, the other 2 units are doctors in the dental field, and then mine's a medical spa. And then inside that spa, we have about 7 rooms. So like 6 of them are booked right now. And then if this goes through, we can actually get like a massage therapist possibly, since we want to be like a one-stop shop. So if ever we do even go through with this, we'll only have maybe 1, maximum 2 massage therapists.
You know, this is, this particular item, I'm sure Jeff knows this area a lot better. Has staff had the opportunity to go by this site, and has the parking lot typically been overflowing, or do we have any information on this particular lot? Has there been complaints or any calls to code enforcement or anything on this particular item?
Mr. Chairman, through you, as indicated in the staff report, we do not have any open code enforcement in regards to parking. And going down here, it looks like when the planner went out and did their site visit, they did not note any areas of concern or, you know, any noticeable parking issues at the time.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm fine with this particular item. It's in a commercial area. There's a lot of, I mean, everything around it's commercial. It's not going to be impacting residential or anything else. And I don't feel that this is going to put a burden on anybody, but open to hearing Commissioner Taylor's comments.
Yeah, and just quickly to just confirm, and I know what you said, but what I'm envisioning is you've got an existing medical spa, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then within that medical spa, you have rooms. So I was looking at your floor plan. You've got an esthetician. You've got a couple estheticians. And so all you're envisioning is taking some of that existing space and creating a room where you would have a massage therapist that would be part of that whole spa experience.
Yes.
Okay. And what are the requirements, just because there are some issues with distance separation and stuff? How do you, what kind of qualified massage therapist would you be looking to bring into your existing medical spa? Like, how do you qualify someone to bring them in?
Yes, so we actually already got the health department and the massage board already checked the place out. We already got approved. The last thing we have is the city.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
All right, through you, Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion on item 27. Would like to make a motion for approval on item 23-0228, A through B, subject to staff's conditions. And to the applicant, I just want to make sure you agree with staff's conditions.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. There's a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote. And Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
Thank you. And that motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, this item will move forward to the City Council on the August 16, 2023 City Council meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
On item 30 is 23-0242, applicant Clark County School District Facilities Services Owner School Board and Trustees for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request at the northeast corner of Smoke Ranch Road and Maverick Street, Ward 5. 30A is 23-0242 VAR1 to allow deviations from Title 19.10 CV Civic Development Standards. 30B is 23-0242 SDR1 for a proposed two-story 143,316 square foot primary public school development. Can we get the staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, the proposed primary school replacement will adequately accommodate the current and projected student populations in this area and provide upgraded facilities for its students. The proposed design attempts to meet CV zoning district requirements where possible. Deviation from several of these standards is warranted and supported by staff. School redevelopment will maintain compatibility with the adjacent residential and commercial properties. Staff therefore recommends approval of the requested variance and site development plan review subject to conditions. Please note there were additional documents of support and protests submitted after publication. Thanks.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. Chris Dingle, 1180 Military Tribute Place, Henderson, Nevada, 89074. I'm with the Clark County School District. The replacement of Brindley, this is one of our 2015 bond projects. I would like to thank staff for recommending approval. I have the architect here with me. He's going to give a brief presentation, and I'll be here to answer any questions you may have.
Let me say my name. My name is Hung Tran. I'm with Carpenter Sellers Delgado Architects. We are located at 8882 Spanish Ridge Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89148. Hopefully you guys could see our board here, but essentially what we're proposing is to, thank you. What we're proposing is to build the new school in the existing fields, demolish the old school, and once the new building is constructed, and kind of turn the existing school building area back into the field and playground areas for the children. Essentially, we're kind of doing a flip-flop of the site, and we're hoping for approval and to kind of bring a more kind of state-of-the-art kind of learning facility for the kids. So.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This was noticed as a public hearing. Anyone wanting to be heard, please come forward. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Turn this over to Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brindley it's middle school now, right? We don't call it junior high. I actually went to Gibson Junior or Middle School, and we actually were on a dual AM PM schedule with Brindley back in the mid '80s. So I'm kind of dating myself, but this is an exciting project. We're happy to see the modernization and all the state-of-the-art technology that'll go into the campus. And so at this time, I'm ready to make a motion.
Please do.
In agreement with staff's recommendation, I'd like to make a motion on item 23-0242 A through B, subject to staff's conditions, and you guys do agree with staff's conditions?
Yes, we do.
Motion to approve, yes.
All right, motion for approval on the floor. Please cast your vote. Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
All right. And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that item is final action unless appealed to the city clerk within 10 days.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item 31, 23-0252, applicant owner Weston Yakoslav for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request, generally located at northwest corner of Vegas Drive and Michael Way, Ward 5. Staff recommends approval. 31A is 23-0252 GPA1 from L, low-density residential, to M, medium-density residential, and 31B is 23-0252 ZON1 from RE, residential estates, to R3, medium-density residential. Can we get the staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, while no development is proposed at this time, staff is able to support the request as it would support such developments as townhouses, duplexes, and multifamily, which would be compatible with the surrounding area. Therefore, staff recommends approval of both the general plan amendment and the rezoning. Please note additional letters of protest have been received since publication. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Nathan Taylor, 8414 West Farm Road, representing the applicant. I promise only take about a half an hour on this presentation tonight.
You only have one phone board.
Okay, gotcha, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I would ask that you follow staff's recommendation for approval, just to orientate you with the area. This is Vegas Drive, Michael Way, my old stopping ground. I grew up in this area. There is R3 already adjacent to this property. There's C1 across the street. We will be back before you with the design review, so this is just asking for the zone change. The plan is to build a fourplex, 2 stories, but obviously you'll have to approve that design when you bring it before you. So with that, I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. This was noted as a public hearing. Anyone want to be heard, please come forward. Seeing none, I'm closed the public hearing. Turn this over to Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm actually ready to make a motion for approval on item 23 20-0252A through B, subject to staff's conditions. You do agree with all the staff's conditions?
Yes, sir.
All right, motion's on the floor. Please cast your vote. And Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good night.
Mr. Chairman, this item will move forward to City Council at the August 16, 2023 City Council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 32, 23-0255, applicant owner Red Rock Sage LLC for possible action on the following land use entitlement project request at 4100 West Charleston Boulevard, Ward 1. Staff recommends approval. Oh, number 32 was held during housekeeping. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring number 24. And so number 24 is 23-0112, applicant Ambleside Properties and City of Las Vegas. Owner is Mogan Holden Companies, LLC, for possible action on land use entitlement project request at the northwest corner Alpine Place and Appian Way, Ward 1. 24A, staff recommends approval. 24A is 23-0112 GPA1 from TOD 1, Transit Orient Development High, to M, Medium Density Residential. 24B is 23-0112 ZON1 from C1 Limited Commercial to RTH Single Family Attached. 24C is 23-0112 TMP1 for a proposed 31-lot Single Family Attached Residential Subdivision. Can we get the staff report, please?
Mr. Chairman, the proposed townhome project supports one of the city's master plan goals to increase affordable housing types and choices for all income levels near existing and new employment centers by providing a housing product that will be attainable by first-time homebuyers and is near the Sahara Avenue corridor, where there are a multitude of services and employment opportunities in addition to dedicated mass transit route. Therefore, staff is recommending approval of the general plan amendment, rezoning, and tentative map. Please note an additional letter of support was received since publication. Thank you.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Commissioners. Sorry that Jeremiah couldn't make it. Susan Florian from Tanny Engineering, 630 South Jones Boulevard, on behalf of the applicant. Here in the site has been redesigned to better fit the adjacent properties. An agreement has been reached with the neighbors surrounding the site through a neighborhood meeting. It is located north of Alpine Place and west of Appian Way. The subject site is 2.33 gross acres. We are requesting allowance for the development of 31-lot single-family attached residential subdivision with a density of 13.30 lots per acre. The lots range from size 1,682 square feet to 3,113 square feet with an average lot of 1,936 square feet. The additional 12,192 square feet will be contained in two common elements. Towards the back of the property, there are also 6 guest parking spaces, including one ADA accessible space. Each proposed townhome will have a 2-car garage and will also have an 18-foot driveway. The plans reflect a 4-plex, a 5-plex, and a 6-plex building configurations. The primary entrance door will be towards the rear of the building, with the connectivity to the street and sidewalk to allow access through these entrances. For the landscape, we will be providing trees and bushes on the south of the property facing Alpine Place. There will also be landscaping between Garda Way on both sides and also on the west side of Appian Way. Sorry. The ingress and egress will be from Alpine Place and Appian Way. The internal public streets are Garda Way and Sasso Avenue. They will They will be constructed at a 47.5 and a 48 public street with a 5-foot sidewalk on each side, as well as AP Way will have a 5-foot public street of 48 with public sidewalks on each side. Additionally, we are requesting to amend the land use from TOD1, Transit-Oriented Development High, to M Medium. Lastly, we are requesting to rezone from C1, Limited Commercial, to RTH, Single Family Attached. I'm grateful that staff recommended approval, and with that, respectfully, I ask that you approve this item, and I'm here if you have any further questions.
This was noticed as a public hearing. Anyone wanting to be heard, please come forward. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and turn this over to Planning Commissioner Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you go back about 2 slides that you had to where it showed? Yeah, go back 2.
Which one? I'm
I'm
sorry?
looking at the one on zoning. It's 2. It showed the plan of the whole area.
This one right here, the land use?
No, the other one. There we go. Can you show in the center there, okay, those, where are the garage doors and where are the entrance doors?
So the garage doors are in the back with an 18-foot driveway.
Okay.
And then these will also be fronting each other, but the main entrance will be through the rear.
So that would be the garage, right? The main entrance?
Yes.
Okay, and so, because the reason I'm asking, a similar project came by a couple of months ago, and people that visited, they had to walk like all the way around and for parking for visitors to come home. And I'm just wondering how that would play into, this particular design.
I'm sorry, could you clarify your question?
That when the owners of the house could go in their driveway, they're going to have an electric door, they go into the garage, and that's the primary entrance. But the front entrance that is between those 2 plots there?
Yes, so there's a sidewalk right here. It also will be landscaped, but they will also be fronting each other.
Okay, yeah, and this looks like a similar plan I seen a couple of months ago. Are they going to be where would your friends come to park, and how would they get into those spots there?
So we have 6 parking spots, and in between the garages and on the front, they will be able to park.
Okay, that was just for I was trying to figure out what the concept was on that. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. I'm going to make a disclosure. I've contracted with Tanny Engineering for a parcel map on one of my parcels. I haven't talked to Tanny Engineering about this. I don't know this particular applicant here today. I really don't know anybody at your firm, and you're not the property owner, you're not the applicant, you're representing the property that I have nothing to do with. And considering the fact that I don't know you, I don't know anybody at your firm other than one person, and I've had 0 conversations with y'all about any project in the past, even though y'all been around forever. I will be voting on this matter, but out of abundance of caution, I just wanted to disclose that y'all are doing a parcel map for our company. So,
yeah, Chairman, thank you for that disclosure. That's absolutely appropriate under Nevada law. The question is, must you abstain? I don't believe you have to abstain based upon the facts that you've disclosed. The fact of the matter is that the question is whether your independence of judgment is materially injured. It sounds like no. There's no relationship here. You believe that you can listen, hear, and then act on this without any issue whatsoever, and I would say that you can go ahead and vote on this.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would like to make a recommendation for approval. I want to make sure I'm on the right. Yeah. Would like to make a motion for approval on item 23-0112, A through C, subject to staff's conditions. You agree with staff's conditions?
Yes.
All right.
All right, there's a motion on the floor, please. There's a motion on the floor, please cast your vote. And Commissioner Kasama?
Yes.
And that motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That item will move forward to City Council on August 16th of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. All right, moving on to citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within jurisdiction of the Planning Commission. No subject may be acted upon by the Planning Commission unless that subject's on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of any time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.